friends. It's Chelsea Gray, health and life coach, surrender into wellness, and I am here to talk to you guys today about villains. So when you think villains, think people in your life that just like drive you absolutely bonkers insane, or maybe make you like so angry you can't think, or maybe just like beat you down. Like we all have people in our lives that at one point or another have absolutely made us feel like shit. So when we think about villains, right, we're all like super familiar with this old fairy tale archetype, right? There's a damsel in distress, there's a hero, maybe a couple sidekicks, a donkey, right? And it wouldn't be a solid fairy tale without a super solid villain. So this was all fine and good in the land of witches and evil stepmothers and scar-faced lions, but I want you to take a second and translate this archetype into your own life, like right now. Who is your villain? We've all got them. It's all good to name them, right? So just don't even think about it. Like use your gut. Like who comes to mind? Villains nowadays are not so easy to identify. They tend to take different shapes, right? So maybe it's a member of your family, could be one of your friends, yeah? Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's just a stranger. Maybe it's somebody who cut you off in their car today and you're just like, why? You know? So now that that's sort of established, okay, these villains, right? Now we know that we're only in control of who we are, how we react, who we're being. That's the only thing we're in control of. We can't control any of our outside circumstance. There's so much that's out of our control. So that being said, how do we work to de-vilify these people? Well, it all starts with getting curious, like most things. So as soon as we start to get curious as to why somebody else feels the need to do the things that make us want to just like rip our hair out, right? We can start to release the power that that has over us. So we're just getting curious. Okay, so curiosity. Okay, so now we move that curiosity into a place of understanding. We come from a space of like, I wonder why they did that, to a place of, oh, that's why they did that. And honestly, you can make up your own story. I do that all the time, right? So using the guy who cut you off in their car, this is like my favorite example ever, right? Because somebody cuts you off and you're just immediately reactive. None of us act in that moment. We all are just like, I'm like flipping him off, and it's like, damn. And so starting with curiosity, maybe first I go, like I wonder why he cut me off. I wonder if he cut me off because his wife is going into labor. So his wife is going into labor. She's in the hospital. He's trying to get to her. So hell yeah, he's cutting people off left and right, you know? And then I'm in a space of understanding, right? And now I can be like, oh, I totally get that dick move. He's got to get to his wife. She's having a baby, right? And even if that's a completely self-constructed, like I completely made that up. There were no bumper stickers on his car that said, about to be a dad, right? I can still move into an understanding of why he may have done that. What might have been his thought process. And then the coolest part is I can move from understanding into compassion. Oh, and you might have seen my post earlier this week about compassion. If you haven't, go back in the archives and go check that guy out. This understanding now takes an emotional tone. So with understanding, we can intellectualize and we can say, okay, I understand with a reasoning, a logical, like a Spock mind, yeah? Now that we're in a compassionate space, we can feel how he must feel. His wife is going into labor. He's cutting around cars like crazy. He's probably just as scared as I was a second ago. Probably more scared, honestly. If I had a baby on the way, I'd be like, ah. So now I can feel why he did that. I can grasp on a deep level that there was a reason behind the action. Even if it was a dick move, I'm like, you go. Now you go. Like, I'm good. So now I'm compassionate to his circumstance. And now that I've embraced that dude with compassion, do you see how easy it is for me to just like release all the attachment to the anger and the frustration that I felt just like a second before? Now apply that to your boss and your mom-in-law and your boyfriend, right? Or your husband, or all these other people that appear in our lives for us as villains in that moment. Can we move from curiosity, I wonder, into understanding, oh, I get it, into compassion, like you feel it, and then just release it. And then just release it, because at the end of the day, villains are just humans. And we are all trying to navigate this experience of life the best that we can, and sometimes we mess up. So try to think about this with your villains. Think of a scenario from your recent past, like you just went through, where you were just like fed up with another person, and then practice devilifying them with curiosity, understanding, and then compassion, and realize maybe once and for all that we're all the same. All of us, we're all just humans. Now going back to that fairy tale, now you got your villains. Look at yourself. Take a second, like check yourself out, tune in and be like, yo, am I a damsel in distress? I don't know what the male version of damsel is, but you can figure that out. Am I a sidekick in my own plot line? Like, am I just donkey, just like moving along, like hoping I could be the star someday, but don't know how? If this might sound like you, kind of silly, but sometimes we really resonate with that. Like, I'm a sidekick in my own freaking storyline. That sucks, right? If you want to be the hero in your own story, schedule a breakthrough session. Like, let's just do it. Get it on the books. You can't do it wrong, right? And you might just come out on the other side of it feeling like you just empowered yourself to take ownership, to take heroship of your own story. And that's pretty cool. So anyway, all right, guys, taking off for today. If you resonated with any part of this, I want to hear about it. So comment below. Let me know what stuck, what feels good, what feels like, what is she talking about? Let's have a conversation. Open it up in the comments. And then to schedule that breakthrough session, of course, there is a link in the captions. Feel free to click that link and get started with me. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you soon.